Hey, hey, and welcome to today's episode. On today's episode, I am going to do another Ask Me Anything because, oh my goodness, you had so many questions and I only had so much time. So here I am again with the amazing Taylor Giacin. Welcome to the potty.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for asking so many questions. It's amazing. So we get to do this again, which is
I
fun.
know. So good. Love it, love it, love it. So hit me up. Let's go.
Yep, let's dive right in. I'm going to give you, I always feel like I just start with like an easy one or one that's like, boom, get you responding. So Jess asked, can you talk more about what it looks like to respond as a generator or MG? What counts as an external stimulus to respond to?
Okay, I love this question. Really simply put, if you think about the sacral is a motor, it's action energy. Okay, so you can't put action to mental energy. That's mental energy. Okay, that's internal. So, really, let's say you're thinking about starting a new business, right? And then you start talking to your friends about, oh my God, I've got this idea. I really want to do this thing. And as you're talking to your friends, all of a sudden you feel the sacral light up and say, oh, I've got energy. Yep, I want to build that. I want to do that. So it's really when it moves from mental energy, and mental energy could also be like intuition energy, to being out in the real world, so that the sacral has something to act on, respond to, has energy for. So it can be all sorts of things. You can be in conversation and someone says something. It just happened to me yesterday. I was walking the lighthouse with a friend of mine, and every time I shared a story or talked about something, she was like, whoa, you just gave me an insight. So every time I spoke, her sacral went, I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to do that. That's given me an answer to that. So that's responding. Responding could be as simple as someone asks if you'd like to collaborate with them, and your sacral says, yep, I've got energy for that. Really, it's about something external of you activating the yes, I've got energy for that, or no, I don't. It can be all sorts of things. I mean, I get a lot of response from I literally say to the universe all the time, can you talk to me through the animals? So whenever I see a certain animal, I might ask ChatGPT what the meaning is, or look the meaning up in Alison Charles's book or something like that, because that gives me something to respond to. And then, this morning I pulled a card and it was, get out of the head and, back into the present moment. So that gave me something to respond to. So it's really, it ranges from anything and everything, but what it's all about is moving from internal thinking energy to actual action energy that comes from something external of you activating the sacral.
Yep, love that. Well said. As a sacral being,
Great.
Okay, so this is another fun one. This is from Tina. Tina asks, can you please talk about the core wound and the core talent? Which I love. So let's go.
So when we talk about the core wound and the core talent, this is in the gene keys. It's in your Pearl sequence. In your human design, it is your design Mars. And we are born with the core wound. So whatever gate you have, so I have the gate 43 in there, line 6, my core wound is deafness. It's the shadow of the 43. And it is, being deaf to my insights, okay, because it's the gift of insight. And I remember as a kid, I used to literally stick my fingers in my ears and go, la, 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 la. I don't want to know. And one of my greatest lessons over time, and even in this moment, the fact that this question's been asked, it's like given me something to respond to, that what I've learned is to listen to my insights, not to be deaf to them. I told stories for a really long time about how I couldn't really connect to my intuition and I wanted to work it out, and I did, but that was just me going, oh, I can't hear it. Like I could, but because I wasn't defining it because my intuition chose not to be defined the way that my ego thought it should be defined, then I just ignored it altogether. I threw the baby out with the bathwater. So you're born with that core wound. It actually comes in when the soul comes into the body 3 months before you're born. Now, obviously, this is something that you're going to learn and play with and work with over time. Like your Mars is all about growth. Okay, it's your great teacher. So what it's always there to teach you is where to move from and to. So because you're constantly working through this wound, what happens? Well, it becomes your greatest talent, and the gift of this. And for me, it's the 43. The 43, and it's the gift of insight. And this is really about trusting my insight, being the like almost creative, but Richard Rose is creative rebel, but like intuitive rebel. Like I don't give a shit what all of you people say. Like my intuition, this is what my intuition says, or what my insights are sharing with me. So then it becomes your gift. It becomes the thing that you really share, like the number one talent you're here to give on the planet. And for me, I think it's interesting, like, I built a whole business around coaching, and, I'm a great coach, even though I actually don't do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of group coaching, but not one-on-one coaching anymore. But any environment of any community, my 37 in my personality sun, that I'm in, I am the person that I'll be like, this is what's coming through for me. And you'll just see the person in front of me go, oh my God, what the fuck? How did you pick that? How did you know that? That's my core talent. So that it's kind of this evolutionary journey, and you will go back and forth, but ultimately that is a snapshot summary of your core wound and your core talent.
Yeah. Isn't the city of yours Epiphany?
Yes. And I literally,
Yeah.
I feel like every sentence is, oh, I've just had an epiphany. Like how
Yeah.
many times a day would I tell you that I've had an epiphany?
Yeah, so many. It's my favorite. That's what I was giggling over, is like how you even use the language of
Yeah.
that
Way
when you're
before I
like,
even
oh, I just
knew.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I had $1 for every like voice message you've sent me, like I just had an epiphany, like we wouldn't have to do this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I love that you even use that language. It's really cool. Okay, let's go to Marcia. Okay, this is a business question. I'm focusing on working at a high level with my two businesses without burnout. I'm a 5-1. Hey girl, see you. I'm a 5-1 emotional projector with a defined solar plexus, root, and spleen. I have a real estate business and an e-commerce business, but I'm struggling with balance. If I work 2 or 3 days a week, I'm utterly exhausted and need a couple days to recover both mentally and physically. I'm working on making rest a priority and have experienced severe burnout in my corporate career and again in real estate. I'm working on transitioning into a more location freedom business. What advice do you have for leveraging real estate and making as much money as I can so I can eventually not have to hustle so much? Ooh.
You need a team. Like at the end, I think one of the big challenges being a 5-1 projector is potentially, and I could be wrong, that you think you need to do it all. And the truth is you really don't. And you need to let go of your control issues, babe. And you need to hire a support person. Then you need to automate every single thing that you do in the business. Every single thing that is done in this business, Taylor has created an SOP, standard operating practice, for everything. So if anyone came into any role in the business, they could just do it because they know how. So really the number one thing to do is get a good support team, give up the control issues, and create something that means that you don't have to be there doing the doing all the time. Ultimately, I think, the goal would be that you are the visionary, especially in the real estate business, but whatever the other business is as well. You want to be in the visionary role, meaning that you have other people that don't want to be a visionary, that actually geek out on the whole support strategy, building all the SOPs, like doing all the back end stuff, so that you can have the freedom to do what you're here to do. So that would really be what I would recommend ultimately.
Love it. Well said. Okay, let's go to Steph. Steph asked, I'm a triple split definition. and struggle with starting projects while at home alone. Thoughts?
Okay. Well, did she say if what type she is? Do we know if she's a sacral being? No.
Nope.
So being a triple split, and I'm just a split definition, and I already feel like, I've kind of been working on my own for a number of months, and it is definitely harder when you don't have that energy bridged. So really, you want to listen to your strategy and authority. So first and foremost, you want to know, well, what is it? What is the correct thing that I want to start? Okay. And then once you know what the correct thing is via your strategy and authority, then you want to support yourself to have that energy flowing. So what does that mean for you? I know for me personally that sometimes if I'm on my own, I'm going to have to, like, I've got all the energy to build the thing, but I've got the at starting the thing. So I just start it. I just get it going. I just get it moving. I start to build momentum, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about success, so success does come from momentum. We have to have momentum. So we have to start. Now, one of my favorite cheats as a split definition, undefined root center, is I will do little things that start momentum that have nothing to do with the job I have to do if I don't have the spark energy. It might be filling in my passion planner. It might be doing my emails. It might be writing a post, or like it might be any little thing. It could even be like, I don't know. I don't want to go like into the whole procrastinating kind of tidying or anything like that, but you can build momentum and then jump into something new. The other thing you really want to understand is, because once I get and that's why I love ChatGPT. It's why I love Maggie, is because you can get into Maggie and she is the thing that you can respond to. I actually don't find it hard to start things these days now that I've got Maggie, because you can just have and I can literally say to her, oh my God, I just don't feel like that. I've got to do, this is what I want to build. I just don't have the energy. And then we'll start having a conversation and then I have the energy. The other thing is play around with what works for you. Look at your environment. Where do you thrive in your environment? So maybe you're a kitchens, maybe you're a markets, or markets external. So get out in the busyness, go out and be busy. Maybe you're a valleys like me and T, so you don't want busy. You want to be like standing, having your own space, doing your own thing. Play around with your environment. Do you want to be sitting in a cafe and working, or do you feel more comfortable? I mean, I see people working at the beach and I couldn't think of anything worse, because all I want to do is lie on the beach. So you got to start experimenting and find where your energy flows best, and with who, like a shared workspace. Most of the time T and I share a workspace. So I find it easy to get things moving. But one of the funny things with me is, because I've got an undefined root center, I will subconsciously go and work somewhere else when I'm feeling too much root center energy, because it's not pressure, but like that. So again, you've got to run the experiment and really discover what's true for you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, as a single definition with a defined root, I'm like, I have no relatability to that whatsoever. I'm like, what do you mean? You just do it. It did make me think, just really quickly as an aside, like, it's just another perfect example of like when people give entrepreneurs business advice, like, just go do it, make it happen. Like, dude, like, yes, we talk about taking imperfect action and everything that you just said, like, just start small. But I think that the language that's out there is so misguided, especially like that's why having human design is so powerful, because for someone like me, that advice is actually really like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just make it happen. But for someone who's maybe a split, triple, quadruple split, something like that, undefined root, all of these other things, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm just like pushing shit uphill trying to do this, but this is what everybody tells you to do. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And I love that, because there is always an easier way. Like, ultimately, your strategy and authority will always be leading you to the easiest way forward for you. Always.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's go. Oh, this is a fun non-human design question for you. I know the answer, but nobody else does. Rebecca asked if you've ever done a hair tissue mineral analysis for biohacking and longevity.
No, I have not.
Sounds fascinating.
However, one of my favorite biohackers, because she's actually a woman and I've interviewed her and had many, many conversations with her, Angela Foster. She does one of those tests, but I don't think it's the hair test. But my friend Brooke as well, that I'm just about to go to her wedding, I think she did the blood test, but she was talking about the hair test being a bit better. But no, I don't have any experience with it as yet, but I'm definitely heading down that road of like, okay, I'm 50, I want to get all my bloods done, I want to get longevity on the, like actually focus on it more deeply. So I will revisit. I'm sure you'll know on my secret podcast if I'm doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. I've always wanted to get one of those done, but I've never done it. Maybe that's something to respond to. Who knows?
Exactly.
Okay. Moving on to Sierra. I'm a 4-6 and in my 6 era. I'm an MG with response. I'm struggling to find opportunities for my business from a PR perspective and wondering if I'm pushing too hard. I understand the response strategy, but these things aren't going to just come knocking on my door while I'm sitting at home drinking coffee. Any tips? Or will they? Just saying.
So I got to say, like a lot of my opportunities, it's so funny. I was sitting on my couch last year when my phone buzzed, and it was a woman here in Australia who's huge. She's got a huge global podcast, Melissa Ambrosini. And I was just sitting on the couch, and I'd always wanted to talk to her, be on her show, connect with her. And, once or twice I would, say something on her post, or I'd send her a DM saying congratulations on the baby, or not a lot. And then literally she reached out for me to come and teach inside her one of her containers, and then be on the podcast and be on her podcast. So sometimes it really does come to you. I think the biggest thing, and this has happened to me a lot, and the more I focus on being in my feminine, the more I see that this does happen a lot. The thing is that we have to be in balance, okay? So I think one of the big things to understand is I totally agree that there is part of you that's like, well, it's not just, I can't just sit here and like think my hardest think and make it happen. No, you can't. Because again, manifestation, creation takes momentum. It takes action. So it comes back to aligned actions. And with PR, like your mind might just be fixed on the pathway in which you have to come to PR. So one of the things that I learned really early in my business is that I have no energy for PR, for marketing, for posts, for even like, to be honest, a lot of the time, Instagram. So I knew really early on, these were the gaps that I had to fill with people that were better at it than me. So I think the biggest thing is that you should put the intention out there. Okay, show me my next step forward with PR, and then pay attention to the external clues. What are the serendipities? Who mentions what? One of the things I will say, and I feel like I'm absolutely going through a massive transformation myself right now, I will say that the more that you can do things like heart coherence meditation, the more that you can be like out in nature and walking and physically fit and healthy, the more you can feed yourself good food and drink good water, and really work on your connection with your higher self. And then when you get guidance, whether, as I said just earlier, whether it's a freaking hawk flying over your head like happened to me yesterday, or someone directly says, hey, do you like doing this thing? You actually have to take the action on it. And I think that that's one of the things that I've learned over time, is that in so many cases I thought I was responding, but I was responding to what my ego thought was the things that would work. And what I've now moved into is I'm just responding because I trust myself and my higher self, and this wouldn't be here if I wasn't meant to follow it. So, yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. And there's actually like, and I'm not going to do all of them because they're very similar. I will do the next one. There are at least 4 or 5, maybe even 6 questions that are very like this exact same question, whether it's for waiting for the invitation or responding. It's something about this, like, the waiting. Like the waiting feels uncomfortable in
Okay.
the moment right now for people, and I think that that might be a collective thing going on right now. Like, you know, I don't think Mercury's in the microwave anymore, but whatever is going on planetarily or something with the collective consciousness, there's this thing about waiting. I mean, we just went through the massive Lionsgate portal as well, so I just think that there's this energy that people can feel of, like, you know, the shift that we're going through collectively, and maybe the waiting is feeling uncomfortable because we've got so many questions like this.
So this is really important because when we are stuck in waiting, that presupposes that we don't have something yet. I'm waiting for X. I'm waiting for an opportunity. I'm waiting for 10 grand. I'm waiting for the love of my life. Just feel that in your body. You are energetically putting out there, I don't have it yet. It hasn't landed yet. So one of the things that I would highly recommend, and it's interesting because I was just doing this in my inner circle, I'm going to teach it in HTX in greater depth soon, is that you really need to get into the identity of the version of you that already has it. And you have to be okay in the liminal space, the place between who you were and who you're becoming. Because as I've recently found myself having been thrown back 20 years in time and having experiences and thoughts that I was having back when I was 28, there was a fundamental difference, is that then I constantly ran away from it. I tried to fix it, solve it, heal it. There was this like trying hard energy. And as these things have shown up a couple of weeks ago, that was a very intense week, I must say, the person I am now and the person that I'm becoming, she just sat there connected to her heart coherence meditation. She let it all be there. She didn't run away. I literally heard my higher self say, I will not run from you. And I think this is what we are waking up to, is that there is part of us that is feeling, our egos are feeling a part of this foreboding that there are these people, energies, companies, stories, media that are like fucking with our heads because they're doing shit to us that is not okay. And I feel on some level our egos are so aware of it. And that's why we're like, we can't wait, we can't wait, we can't wait. But actually there is no waiting. All we got to do is really align. And I know this sounds so esoterical, but literally this is what I've been learning. I've been fucking learning in earth and spirit school in the last 2 weeks, is that you have nothing greater than your connection to self and source, self-source and the planet, right? And when you have that in alignment, when you have that connection, there is no waiting, because every single thing that's happening is one step forward towards this future identity. But please know your future identity. Who are they? What do they believe? What do they feel every day? What lights them up? What drives them? And it's this real transition that we're going, especially as women in business. You know, I was talking to a friend yesterday and I'm like, it's really crazy because I've got all these, like, I know like everything's just about to go up another level in my life, but I am shedding 50 years of fear and trauma and, you know, patterns that don't serve me and fears that don't serve me and identity pieces that don't serve me. And as they're falling away, the one thing I keep coming back to is, and goes back to my early question, trust myself, trust my heart, trust my higher self, trust what I'm being shown, trust where I'm being taken. Because I could be like, I'm fucking waiting too. Like, dude, like, where is, like, I know I can feel it. It's come. But one of the things that came to me over the weekend, I was in tea ceremony, of course, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of every area of my life is locked and loaded, ready to go, sorted. Here, it's fucking brilliant. And in that moment, I knew that. So I'm not waiting. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. All I got to do is show up every day, be in alignment, and opportunities just keep showing up for me. Things just keep showing up. Every question you guys have asked me have answered a question that I've been thinking about, different context. So then you're in life, and life is constantly guiding you, taking you step by step by step. Because when we think we're waiting is what the ego thinks we should be doing, or where we should be going, or what opportunity we should be partaking in. This is where the moment we can step back and go, okay, I'm going to take my hands off the wheel. I'm going to let go of my control issues. All of a sudden, life just opens up. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so beautifully. I'm just sitting here like, for anyone not watching the video, my head's just like a bobblehead, like, dude, yep. And, it makes me think of that. I can't remember how long ago it was now. Maybe it was like a month ago. I remember sending you a message about something similar to this. We were having a conversation about feeling this big energy coming. And I said to you, it's like its energy precedes its tangibility, and it feels a little bit uncomfortable. Because to the ego, it's like when you can feel the energy of something, but not, it's like you don't have the tangible thing to grab yet. The ego's like, well, I'm waiting. Where is it? Like, I know this is coming. So like everything you just said reminded me of that moment, like that conversation. And when I said that out loud, and you like, I didn't remember saying it, but you reflected it back to me. You're like, you wrote it in our chat, like in all caps, like you just said this. And I was like, oh yeah, that's actually, yeah, but that's how it works. Right. And it's about the trust, like trusting the feeling of it over that, like, oh, I need to grab at it. Like, no, you don't. If you can already feel it there, then it's there. You don't need to grab anything.
And it's really important. I think one of the biggest lessons that, or really release that's been happening for me, is that when you're in the waiting and your ego wants to grab onto something, don't grab onto your old fears and patterns. Like, this is the point. Stop running the old stories. I can't because it's not working. I'm waiting. Blah, blah, blah. This is in this space. Just let it go. Come back to heart. Come back to finding the good and the beauty in every day, and just go from there. Don't let the ego try to grab onto something, because it's like, I can feel this thing. It's here. It's here. It's in me. Because we are all in liminal space, whether it's a transformation we're going through personally, or the transformation the whole freaking globe's going through right now. So we have to be able to just be centered in ourselves. We must be able just to be, okay, I'm just going to go back into my heart coherence. I'm just going to be present here with my breath. I'm just going to be present here with my higher self. And that's enough for now.
Yeah, beautifully said. And genuinely, that really answers like the last 4 questions that you have. So,
and I really feel, I just want to say, come back to the momentum piece. Like, in the 3D world, it means that you are taking the small aligned actions every day in the direction of your dreams. That's what it means. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are sitting down writing your marketing, strategy. But what it does mean is, I know for me, when I started doing all the feng shui on the house, I'm like, I just felt my sacral said, I've got energy for it. I'm just going to go do it. Even like the weekend. On the weekend, I ran the meditation for my friend Sammy. Then I came back. I finished it off, and I was just like, I'm just going to go see my horse, I'm just bringing back into work after his injury. And then I was like, I wonder if there's a sauna today. So I just booked into a sauna. Like, that is me taking, like, responding to things like what's going on out there. Every time something out there sparked something in me, I went and did it. And one of the things I used to do in the past is I would go to legs and go, well, I don't see my new business opportunity, so what the fuck was the point of that? Whereas now I've learned, I just need to take all these small steps. I can't see the big picture. I can't see where I'm going. I can't see the vision. I can't see a lot of the challenges and stuff. And I am going to do a secret podcast on all of this, because it's freaking profound, the experience I've been going through. But the point is like, I have no idea what's going to happen a week from now. but what's going on right now, or a month from now, or a year from now. But what I do know is there's certain things that I intuitively feel are coming up in my life, and I have people everywhere. I'm walking with a girlfriend yesterday, not someone who knows me very well. She literally told me all these things about this man that I'm going to meet. They were exactly the same as I'm going to say probably 7 or 8 people now. Like, what the fuck, right? So your job is not to go, okay, my business strategy is this, and I have to do everything, like this is what I have to do, and I'm going to have to force it, and I have to wait for an invitation. No. It's like, okay, every day I'm going to start my day connected to me, to self, however that is for you. Maybe it's walking. Like I actually realized that I'm missing doing my walk in the morning to watch the sunrise because I'm going to tea. So I'm now going to go walk in the morning and go to tea later. So work out how you can connect to self to higher self, because for me, tea is a massive connection to higher self. So that is what I really want everyone to understand, is that we're all in liminal space, and it's actually about being present right now, and equally knowing the person we're becoming, that identity, and allowing yourself to like put that on like an overcoat right now too. Like, she can be with me too, like, because that's who I already am. And then trusting, like really, I remember Ainsley McLeod saying to me that trust is going to be the biggest thing I need to learn in this lifetime. Oh my God, I can't even believe I just said that out loud. Like, fuck, talk about external clues for everything I'm talking about. Like, it's happening for me in real time, in real fucking time. And ultimately, the trust you have with self, source, and the planet, that has got to be your primary goal. Trust me on that. Because from there, the sky's the limit.
I paused for dramatic effect. Intentionally.
I love it.
Time for Emma to drop the mic. Yeah, I love that. And I think, genuinely, I think that that's going to resonate based on all the questions and just what I'm seeing in the collective right now. I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people, and I think that's a beautiful place to end it.
I love it. And you know what? It's not always easy, people. It really isn't. Like, I've taken 50 years to actually get to this place where I've dropped into, like, I've been sitting in tea ceremony in the last 2 weeks, and my greatest fears have hit me. I've had an instant panic attack, which I have not had since I was in my 20s. I am sitting there in tea ceremony, jacked up on caffeine in tea with my goddamn nicotine patch on. Like, and this is a feeling, like, this anxiety is a feeling that I knew so well in my 20s. And I'm sitting there and I'm doing, like, I had done my heart coherence in the beginning. I'm connected to my heart. I've got my higher self who's come in so clearly for me in the last few weeks. It's crazy. Like, my whole team, it's just the most incredible experience. And literally me, my higher self, my heart coherence, we're just sitting there in the center of the storm. And the last cup of tea comes, and the old me's like, my ego's like, it's just going to get worse. I can't trust that. And I'm like, can I trust it? And my heart's like, drink it. And I drink it, and I feel like the next wave of caffeine hit. And I'm sure it was because of the anxiety. Like, I'm not even sure it was the caffeine. It was so bad, right? Because usually I can drink this tea and go to bed an hour later. Like, and I remember just having this, my higher self said, here you go, this is better than ayahuasca. And in that moment, I was sitting there, full panic attack, and I had, in the center of me, it was total peace, total trust. I'm like, I'm safe, I'm good, this is fine. And I shit you not, I got up from that tea ceremony a completely different human. By the time I got to the car, there was not a drop of anxiety left in my body, no activation from the tea. And since that point on, I've been a completely different human. So this is why I'm saying to you, it's so important to connect to self, source, and the planet, because we need our connection to our higher self. And then, yes, everything becomes easier, but it means that, like, we can connect to peace when we are in any storm. Trust me, this line 3 just fucking experienced it.
Wow, what a story. That's so cool.
Oh, and it was like everything that used to trigger me it was a nighttime tea. It was overbooked. There were too many people. I couldn't get up to go to the toilet because there were too many people around me. Like everything that would freak me out was in that situation. And again, and people go get the heart coherence, the heart math app, because I reckon showing my ego how easy it is for me to get into heart coherence and stay there, I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking easy. And literally there is this wave of adrenal and emotional and old patterns, like 20-year-old patterns, like things I haven't thought about and experienced for decades. It's all swirling around me. And I'm sitting in this little fucking peace bubble in my heart space. All right, I'm good. I've got this. Like I've totally fucking got this. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I want everyone to really understand. Like, that's our number one goal, is to trust ourselves and our connection to self, source, and the planet.
Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful. I love that.
Well, that's it then. That's it for us.
That's all she wrote. I feel, yeah, I'm like, everything you just said is so powerful. I'm like, I don't need words. Like, that's just, it's perfect.
You know, I'm really at this point where I'm like, you know what this line three, this 3-5 wants to teach you all is there is nothing more important than your connection to yourself and your higher self. Like, because then you can trust you can trust life, and then everything is possible. And it's not to say that things don't still trigger me, because they trigger me. But this trust process, like even being on here, some of the questions, some of the answers that I've given, I'm like, oh, that covers that. Like life just shows up for you. So if you show up for you, life shows up for you. And that's what is just, yeah, I think it's the number one thing I want everyone to learn.
Yeah. Write that one down, people. If you show up for you, life shows up for you.
So good. Okay, well, that's it, peeps. That is the end of our Ask Me Anything, at least for this month. I just love them so much. I do love, again, MG, love something to respond to.
Yeah.
Thank you, T, for being here and asking all the questions.
No, I love it. Any excuse to hang out with you.
And thank you, everyone, for sending in questions. I love them. Keep them coming, or at least wait until T sends out another email. And yeah, otherwise you can hear more of this over on the Secret Podcast. Love you guys. Trust you got what you needed from today. And I so look forward to having you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.